to it, a big spin. This is for skipper Taylor. Here goes Tahu. Tahu is away. This is Super Rugby League.
It's an exciting time for Queensland Rugby League today here at Suncorp Stadium. It's the Queensland final in the Arrive Alive Cup with Keebra Park to take on Kirwin State High. Now, in the overall draw, this doubles as a quarterfinal. So the winner today advances through to the Final Four and a clash against Farrer Agricultural High from out of Tamworth. With me in commentary today, the one and only Phil Gould. It's a big one, this.
Certainly is, mate. These kids will be looking forward to a run on Suncorp Stadium. Kirwin State High, well, they're up in Cowboy territory, but you'll see that they've got players on scholarship with the Melbourne Storm, the Broncos, as well as the Cowboys. And Keebra Park have had a tremendous association with the West Tigers Club in Sydney. It's the former school of Benji Marshall. Be a top game, this one.
Let's look at the fact sheets first of all for Kirwin. Now, this is a massive school in North Queensland. They are the supreme sporting school in that part of the world. 2,000 students, a lot of depth across a lot of sports, and last round they defeated Ignatius Park by 32 points to 14, and this is how they'll line up today. Heading at fullback. On the wing, they've got a couple of flyers, Geia and Holmes in the centres, Beaumont and Bell. The halves are Kongu and Brady Payne, he's also the captain, and the forwards Lillyman at lock. Second rowers for Gutu and Williamson, a front row of McKinnon, Skipper and McLean, and on the bench for Kirwin today, Heck, Mambrino, Lillyman and Wire and Gus. Now let's take a look at Keebra Park.
Keebra Park's a much smaller school, Vosh. It's only got about 700 students, but gee, they're good at their sport. They offer a sports specialisation program, including rugby league, about 250 students installed in that. And they also made the Rocker Stedford final this year, so pretty diversified talents down in that neck of the woods. Their team this afternoon will look this way at fullback, and it's Parata. On the wings, it is Mutu and Matenga. In the centres, and we've got Wee Hongi Sia and Damon Hart. The 5'8" is Dane McDonald, the halfback is Jimmy Poland. In the back row, it's Tim Leary, Bodine Thompson and Ben Teo. In the front row, it's Byrne, Retlav and Francis. And on the bench, it's Campbell, McGill, DePaul and Sullivan. They're coached by Greg Lenton.
And first out onto the ground, the team representing Kirwin High. Big preparation for this one. They came down yesterday looking to follow on from the late 90s when they were really a powerhouse in Queensland Rugby League. Finalists, champions in 96 and 98. Play to watch today, one of the speedsters on the wing, Obadiha Geia. Queensland 100-metre sprint champion last year, second at the Nationals. And he really can burn across the grass. And over to Keebra Park. As Gus mentioned, when we last saw them play here, that was 2003, and they had a kid named Benji Marshall in their side. He was outstanding that day. And there's a number of junior Kiwis in their side today. One of them is their fullback, Matthew Parata. He will also have the goal-kicking duties today and a scholarship holder, like Marshall was with the West Tigers. Referee Clayton Sharp.
Stay on side.
Quarter-final of the Arrive Alive Cup. And it's Leo Faguto who gets us underway. Keebra, some indecision, and then it ended up a very brave take of the ball with Cameron Heading getting through. The halfback, Jimmy Poland, has left the worse for wear. Accidental knees, but at least he got to the football. And now is Stuart Byrne, front rower in this Keebra Park side, just outside their 20. Big effort to win last round, 14-4 over Palm Beach Currumbin. One of the favourites for this year's title. Retzlaff with his first hit up, almost back to the 40. Now McDonald got into first receiver. It's a good first set of 6 from Keebra Park. Their halfback has been left behind. That's back on the 20. And now the charge down from Kirwin. And getting through quickly is Kongu. Doesn't quite get to the ball. Back there for it is Matanga. And the tackle count has restarted. Keebra Park in possession, 25 metres out from their own line. Tackle from Beaumont. He needed all of his force to get his man to ground. Now Bodine Thompson, almost back to halfway. It's been a great year for the Tigers feeder schools. Holy Cross, St Gregory's, and now Keebra Park all through to the quarterfinals. Big run from Retzlaff. He's 35 metres from the line. He was collected there by McLean. This time with McDonald. Halfback Poland only now in a position to join the play. With it is Parata. And the kick on the last tackle will be taken in goal by Edric Holmes. And a 20-metre restart for Kirwin.
Well, the halfback Jimmy Poland has in fact now gone to the bench. He's struggling. He's been replaced by number 17 Nathan Sullivan, and that was a heavy knock he took from the opening kick-off of the game. Had to go down on a ball rolling towards him, and he's come up with a nasty knock, and that could be a real setback there for Keebra Park. Your halfback and playmaker taken out in the first tackle of the game. Look at that knee, he's right in the head. Gee whiz, no wonder he saw stars. Hope he's just taken to the sideline to clear his head for the moment. He may be back a little bit later. He's standing up down there, so everything's okay.
Kirwin high in possession, and the kick from Kongu was touched on the way through. Ended up a pretty good take there from Matenga on the bounce. And now proving a handful for the defence. Matenga back to halfway he goes. For Keebra Park, one of those West Tigers on scholarship. Now with Parata, he's a big fullback. It's a very likely player, the number one for Keebra Park. At a dummy half goes Matt Francis, he's the captain of the side. 30 metres from the Kirwin line. And back to centre field with McDonald. A lot of responsibility has fallen in his lap. With Poland off the ground, played by Teo. They're 20 metres from the line, again with McDonald. And now only 8 metres from the Kirwin line, threatening to post the first points of the match. McDonald dummy half, it's the last tackle. And this time Francis with a cutout ball. Pressure defence for Kirwin. And they're equal to the task. Beaumont comes up with a tackle with Heading and Kongu to prevent a try being scored.
Just talking about the responsibility now on the Keebra Park 5'8" Dane McDonald. He looks a very heady player. Some nice touches in that set of six there indicate to me that he's a pretty good ball player, so he might even relish the opportunity to get his hands on the football a little bit more. Nice start by Keebra Park, and Kirwin now really battling to get out of their own 20-metre zone.
And with it, McLean, they're only 10 metres from their own line, out across with Williamson. Thrown to ground at the tackle there of Ben Teo. Still inside their 20, and it's Brady Payne who kicks. And well called there by the winger, Shea Mutu, who shows us a step early. 40 metres away from the Kirwin line. Quick play the ball for Parata. Another strong run from the fullback.
He looks good, doesn't he? Nice mover.
22 metres out, and with Stuart Byrne. Running straight, low tackle there from Lee McLean. And this time the short pass with Retzlaff. And that is good defence front on. It was by Casey Lilliman. And then penalised Robert Kongu for the flop. Almost right in front of the posts. And such is the respect for their opponents, Keebra Park decide to go for goal.
Parata out of dummy half. I like his involvement up from fullback. He's got a little bit of the Tamana Tahu, David Violecki look about him, doesn't he? Certainly a good start here for Keebra Park. There's the penalty there being held down in the play of the ball.
So heavy involvement early for Matthew Parata. And now the first kick of the day from 10 metres out. And a 2-0 lead in the Queensland final. Their Iberlife Cup. Keebra Park over Kirwin State High. And back we come with Leo Fagutu. His second kick-off for the match by Nathan Sullivan. And they're ready to run back, ready to rumble again. Keebra Park forwards. Put back by Bodine Thompson. They've all got the Benji Marshall step these days. We saw one there, the ball coughed up in the tackle. The step came from Wihongi Sia. And now a drop ball from Kirwin, straight back into the hands of Matt Francis. They lasted all of one tackle with the ball in their hands.
That Matt Francis, the hooker here, he's the captain of the Keebra Park side. He played in the Benji Marshall team a couple of years ago. He's been in the top grade for some time, no doubt about that.
As a 16-year-old, he played in this.
You've got to make it, mate.
In this match at this stadium. Now the short pass from McDonald. It's allowed to continue. Pressure on the fullback Heading, who comes up with a tackle on Herman Retzlaff. Front rower running at the fullback. Now the pass has been knocked down and it's been called offside.
Near the back 10, number 5.
Took odds to it, Edric Holmes.
And again, it was a pass from McDonald to a hard straight running forward that got them into the backfield. Had a good opportunity here down the blind side. Kirwin able to come up with the intercept, but it was offside. And now this Keebra Park team go right on the attack McDonald, to me, looks like the player most likely to create the chances.
And with it, Stuart Byrne brings it back close to the posts. It was a flying tackle to get him to ground by Jamal McKinnon. McDonald in everything early and now stepping back towards the posts. Down is heading. All the pressure on Kirwin early in this Queensland final. They look to be short on numbers this side. Coming out for the lock forward, Leary. Defence unable to hold him out. And we've got the first try. Tim Leary over. And a 6-0 scoreline to Keebra Park.
Yeah, some nice work here in the lead up to this try. This is again McDonald going across the field. Gets a beautiful pass on the outside to Retzlaff, who gets back into the backfield. They got a penalty on the next play. And then taking it to the post. Now this is Jimmy Poland back on the field, the halfback who got that knock. Out to Leary, who muscles his way towards the try line. Who's obviously done a good job to get it down in the corner there. Poland onto Leary. Good strong right arm fend, good strength, reach over the top, got the ball down. There's the first try of the game to Keebra Park's Tim Leary.
We go from one in front for Matthew Parada to one right on the sideline. 20 metres out. On the angle, Matthew Parada, he's side in front by 6. And it is successful. It hung up there. It just got over the crossbar. And an 8-0 lead for Keebra Park over Kirwin State High. Queensland final, the Arrival Live Cup. Kirwin State High from Townsville struggling to get any sort of quality possession in this match. And the forwards on a roll for Keebra Park. Stuart Byrne brings back the first one. Goes back to the 30. And now for Retzlaff. Working well as a combination. The 10 and 8 for Keebra Park. And it'll be Holly Sear. 5 metres inside their own half. Up to the right-hand side with Ben Tia. Big run. Went over the stop of Fagutu.
He's a strapping big lad too, isn't he? Ben Tia moved nicely onto the ball there, and a good hit kick here from Keebra Park. Forces them right back into the corner.
Came from Francis. Edric Holmes tried the step, and he's managed to stay in the field of play. Did well. Now Cameron Heading. Heading is headed back to the in goal though. And this time it's the line dropout. Keebra Park. Right on the money, plenty of enthusiasm.
It's the toughest run to make in rugby league when the opposition does a good kick and chase down into the corner and pins you like that. The next run is the hardest run in rugby league, and the fullback heading there tried to muscle his way into the infield, but they drove him back into the in-goal line dropout.
It's a big line dropout too, and off the fingertips it's going to go 70 metres. Back for Shea Mutu. The line dropout came from Lee McLean, the hooker for Kirwin. He launched it, Pat Richards style. So Keebra in possession. Right on halfway. Played by Tim Matenga. And now for Retzlaff. Bit of footwork shown by the front rower there. Able to stand in the tackle but not offload.
Yes.
Lillyman got his hands around the ball. Back inside this time for Stuart Byrne. Plenty of hit-ups. Francis kept alive for Leary. Try scorer. Got past one. That was the attempted tackle with the front rower. Now straight through the centre. Big meters to be made, and Heading comes up with a try saver on Matt Francis. Last tackle. And Keebra with numbers on this right-hand side. Need to get it out quickly with Teo. Kept alive this time. Real scramble from Kirwin. Edric Holmes came in off his wing. Brady Payne came across. And so too Andrew Bell. Between them, they save a try. Now back to centre field with the fullback, Cameron Heading.
It's very difficult when you're fatigued and haven't seen much football to actually run and support each other. And here's another error against the Kirwin side. And at the moment, it's just fatigue building on fatigue. Keebra Park are forcing them back in their own territory. He just lost control of that one, even though the opposition player was laying in to play the ball. But they're not running with support. They're running one out. And the pressure's just mounting on them from Keebra Park.
Second rows in, please. He's just doing his shoelace over here. Let's go. Stay up. Second rows, pack in. Come together. End on end with that ball. Outside foot up. Put it in.
30 metres out. And Jimmy Poland, halfback, and away with McDonald. And spreads it out wide with Matanga. Then unloaded and put down by Damon Harth. Squandered chance there.
He did well here, Matanga. He actually drew a couple of players with a nice footstep and created space on the outside for Harth. Ball to McDonald. Now, what's a little right foot step? That will now commit the winger, and he actually gets his winger away on the outside. Obadiha Geia was gone, but Harth couldn't come up with the grab. Bad luck.
End on end. No. Let's get this down here. End on end. End on end like that. Outside foot up. Hold steady, hold steady. Out.
He's got the duties of feeding the scrum this time, and there's his halfback standing at 5'8", ball off the legs, that's play on. Still all the same, very scrappy. It was fielded by Calvin Wire. And they come out to the left side, Andrew Bell, and Bell able to break through the defence up to halfway.
Good run.
Reminder about the Arrival Live website too, to keep up to date with all that's happening in the competition. Some good competitions going on through the website, www.arrivallive.com.au. So we get down towards the final, which we will screen on Grand Final Day on Channel 9. Kongu, 35 metres from the line, and back with Joel Lillyman. Lillyman brothers in this side, they're cousins to Jacob at the Cowboys. Kongu holding the ball out, it's the last tackle. He's passed off the deck. Referee hadn't called held, so play on for Kirwin, then it comes out for Williamson. Gets a good kick in. Parada gets across there, doesn't get a bounce. They get a try out of it. Andrew Bell has scored for Kirwin. There's plenty of luck in that one. I thought they were held well back, but it was a shrewd kick, and it's produced a try in an 8-4 scoreline.
Well, there we see here now that Tugu tried to get that one away on fifth tackle. The ball will come out to the left-hand side of the field. And on the fifth tackle, the number 12 here you see for Kirwin, Brenton Williamson gets his foot to the ball, and a terrible bounce. Comes back in the hands of Bell. Bell actually started this with a good break out of his own territory. Got them up there so they were actually with an attacking kicking option on tackle 5 for the first time of the game. And just watch this horror bounce. Oh, it was just meant to be, wasn't it? And Bell grabs it to score the first try for Kirwin and get them on the board. Good stuff.
Obadiha Geia, goal kicker here for Kirwin. 8 in from touch, 22 metres out. And plenty of hook on that one. 4 points is the margin in the Queensland final. Arrival Live Cup, 8-4 to Keebra Park. Matthew Parada. And his kick hangs up there. Some urgency from the halfback Payne, and then a shoulder attempted on Ryan Heck. Didn't get him off his feet. On their own 20. McLean, and away for skipper. Watch this challenge again from the restart of play. 2 with interchange players. McGill on Ryan Heck. Out wide now with Stephen Beaumont. 28 metres away from their own line, Kirwin. But back in the contest. They've been outplayed, but they're only down by 4. Now Mambrino outside the 30. With McLean, cuts out Kongu this time, finds Payne, he kicks from his own 30. He's found space between the winger and the fullback. Mutu with it. And now Mutu, a little shuffle and step, and then cut down in the tackle of Ryan Heck. They've all got the footwork. Back this time for Wihongi Sia. Driven back in the tackle there of Williamson. Good stuff. And beside him was his captain Payne. Now back with Tio. Kirwin aiming up in defence in this set. On halfway. Francis, infield, McGill. Not able to offload, but 45 metres from the line. And now getting a roll on the left, and McDonald the cutout ball out wide. Matanga, he's got plenty of skill. Back on the inside, 10 metres out from the line, stepping run from Thompson. That's a terrific try from Keebra Park. There's gold down that left side for them, and it's being inspired by Tim Matanga. The man who comes up with a try is Bodine Thompson.
Yeah, good work here again from McDonald. Saw that Matanga was open on the outside. Nice right foot step to beat his opposite number. Gets the one-arm pass back in field. Thompson still had plenty of work to do. Big right foot step from the back rower, holding the ball out in one hand, gets it across the line. But these 3 players have probably been the best of the first half so far. Did he touch the line? Did he not? No video referees in schoolboy football. This one will be in the papers tomorrow. Bodine Thompson scoring the second try for Keebra Park.
Over to Matthew Parada. He's got a bit of the Sonny Bill Williams hairdo about him. Junior Kiwi this year. Big fullback. And he's 3 from 3 here for Keebra Park. And their lead is now 10 points. Watched on by their coach of many years, Greg Lennon. 14 points to 4. Robert Congu on the restart for Kirwin. 2 tries to 1. A 10-point ball game and brought back there by Anthony McGill. He's coming off the bench. He's really mixed it with them. Leaving a mark in defence and attack. And a little metres made by Francis and able to offload. This time with Campbell. Thrown to ground in the tackle of Skipper. This time Parada up in the front line. Copped one over the top. Congu got there. Also with Mambrino. Kicked deep from McDonald. Getting across his heading. And it beats them all over the sideline, 15 out. Plenty of control in the game of Keebra Park. Being well directed by Dane McDonald, 5'8". Southern Division under-17 rep this year up in Queensland.
They just look a little bit more organised than Kirwin. Both sides are very willing, both sides trying very hard, but through the hands of McDonald, this Keebra Park side just looks a little bit more structured. They can point their attack at the right areas. Kirwin just running without support, not quite forming as a team often enough.
And now Payne quickly bringing it round to the left, rushing up in defence there was Teo. Couldn't quite get the tackle away on Bell, the lone try scorer for Kirwin. Now back for Ryan Heck. Short of the 40-metre line, held there by Mark Campbell. Dummy half McLean with Payne. He's kicking early in the count from inside the 40. Didn't quite get the piece on it he hoped for. Mutu with it. Chased down there by Edric Holmes. But surprise tactics from Kirwin early in the count. And now Wahongi Sia. Just short of the 30. Defensive work done that time by Lee McLean. And a dummy half, the stepping run, the fancy footwork of Tim Matanga. He's had a big first half. Sort of alternated between centre and wing. There's a good tackle over the top from Ryan Heck. Down low was McLean. He has been inspirational, the hooker for Kirwin. Back with heading for Kirwin State High now. Taken in the tackle of Mutu. Very entertaining first half. We expected nothing less. The two premier schools in Queensland head-to-head in the Arrive Alive Cup. And Keebra Park, 2 tries on the board, go to half-time, leading by 14 points to 4. Welcome back to Suncorp. Venue today for the Queensland final in the Arrive Alive Cup, and Keebra Park leading Kirwin by 14 points to 4. And our Arrive Alive flashback today, we're going back to 2003, and the Keebra Park side was Benji Marshall. And Gus Gould and I sat in the commentary box up here, very, very impressed. When he played on this day against Waverley, he had already played first-grade football for the Tigers against Newcastle. That was the first time we saw his step. And then in this game, he produced 4 or 5 absolute gems. That one in particular, racing away for a 50-metre try. Benji Marshall, a product of schoolboy football. And this was only in his second year of rugby league, playing for Keebra Park back in 2003. And then at this ground, earlier this year, he played Test football for New Zealand and a star with the Tigers through 2005.
And here's the best of the tries in the first half. Again, the 3 best players so far, I believe. Dane McDonald, a long ball out there to Tim Matanga. One-arm pass back in field to Bodine Thompson. And the big fella still had a lot to do. Right foot step, dangling the ball out front, and gave Keebra Park a 14 points to 4 lead. They're playing well as a team. Kirwin have got to run with more support. They're not out of it yet. 25 minutes to go. The Queensland final.
Ready then for the second half. And Keebra Park looking to match their effort of 1994, reached the semi-finals. They also reached the semi-finals back in 87 and went one step further all the way through to the final. And they were beaten by Patrician Brothers Fairfield. So it's It's a big day for both schools, and Keebra Park leading by 10. Kirwin in possession to start the second half. And the first kick of the half comes from the halfback Brady Payne, over the head there of Shea Mutu, all the way back to inside his 20 for Parada, with a run and left foot step, and gets back to the 30. He's kicked 3 out of 3, and that's having quite an influence on this game. One of them from the sideline from the fullback, Matthew Parada. And from dummy half with Damon Half. Hasn't seen a great deal of the ball. The number 4 for Keebra Park. Continue to work right with Ben Teo. Ben Teo makes 15 metres.
He's made 15 metres every time he's carried the ball. Tall and rangy, good strength.
Back infield, Poland, and across with McDonald. They throw deep over the shoulder there of Parada. Half as the player has to go back for it. Held in the tackle of Beaumont. And Geia, they're back inside their own half now. Poland will kick on the last. 45 metres out from his own line. No distance on the kick at all. Heading. And Heading goes straight through the turnstiles. Over halfway with Cameron Heading. Big step, got him around Teo. Still alive, the fullback for Kirwin. Ended up tackling himself.
That was the run they've been looking for. They've been under pressure, coming out of trouble the whole time. Now they start a set of 6. Well downfield. Good opportunity.
Dummy half. McLean is able to turn them around again at marker. Makes 10 metres. Takes Leary with him. Make it 15. And then some. Taken to ground by Parada. Congo at dummy half for Kirwin. And Congo is held up by 3 defenders. Right on the goal line. Now McLean from dummy half. He has a go. He takes on the posts. He takes on the arrival-eyed padding. And he's held up. We will come back to the 10.
Just got to question those last 2 plays here from Kirwin. Those 2 dummy half runs have spoiled what advantage they'd created with long breaks and quick play the balls.
Wait for the whistle.
But still got tackles up their sleeve. They can get across the line here.
Skipper in a dummy half and decides to come up left with Payne. Held it up and then a huge tackle. Ben Teo has off the hit of the year in the Arrive Alive Cup.
Well, he's been making plenty of yards with the ball. I said he's a big strapping boy who can really push players out of his way. But what's this? Kabang. Beautiful technique. Left shoulder hit. Didn't see it coming. Oh, it's a beauty. What's it? Kabang.
Oh, Joel Lillyman. Oh, you love to see it, don't you? You don't love to be on the end of it, but you love to watch it.
Well, Joel Lillyman, I think he likes to ride bulls, doesn't he? He's a bit of a bull rider, fancies himself jumping on big bulls. He won't have come up against a bull bigger than that in his life, I'll guarantee it.
And that's no bull. Here's the ball with Parada for Keebra Park, 10 metres out from his own line. So jot down that name, Ben Teo, Terminator. And now with Damon Half inside the 20. Keebra Park in possession. Wihongi Sia. Here's Teo on screen. New Tigers fans be happy. He's another one of the scholarship holders. Turnover of possession from Keebra Park.
This was a little unlucky. Could have come off his legs here. The referee had 2 quick looks at it. Good work there by Retzlav, and it's a little conjecture as to whether it came off his knees or his hands. A little bit of the Benji, that wasn't Billy Slater in Origin. I never forget, what's he doing?
He's at this ground.
End on end, put it in. No, end on end with the ball, no. Telling you, end on end. Wait. Ball in. Wait.
Scrum 40 metres out from the Keebra Park line, and straight away, Kirwin turn it over. Now lock forward Casey Lillyman. The Lillyman brothers not having the best last few minutes.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Looking for a big run for his team to get them on the front foot, and just didn't come up with a grab on the ball. That's experience though. Won't happen too often to him in his career.
Push coming from Kirwin. Fielded there by Jimmy Poland. And back comes Parada for Keebra Park over the 40. Chased down by Payne. And then loses the ball at the end of it. Hendrick Holmes decides to try the step. Kirwin are in possession, 30 metres out from their own line. A game in the balance at 10 points the margin. Keebra unable to kick away. Kirwin not holding it for long enough to keep the pressure on. Here's Kongu. Offloading for Fagutu. And taking the ground in the half tackle.
Tackle 3.
We've got a player injured in the background here, and I think it's the fullback, Cameron Heading, it is, who missed the tackle on his opposite number, Parada, from the previous play when Parada ran downfield. He's come up with a...
Well, it's cramp. We shouldn't stop play for cramp, should we?
Well, he was in the way.
Well, I don't think his team really wanted it to stop there. They're on the attack. They're 40 metres out. They want young Heading in the play, but they had Keebra slightly rattled. Then on the last, the kick over the top. Well handled, Matanga. He has shown plenty of skill in this match and very cool as well. 15 out from their own line.
He's a busy player, the Kirwin 5'8" Robert Kongu. He's had some little kicks and little darts from dummy half. Hasn't really set his back line a lot at any time during the game, but there's some breaks in him as well.
Only 16 years of age, the 5'8" for Kirwin, and a Bronco scholarship holder. There he is in defence.
Is he really only 16? Gee whiz, he's doing well for a kid that young.
Now, kick right on the 40. In fact, maybe just a fraction over from Francis. Won't matter in any case. Fielded by Edric Holmes. Links up with Heading. He decides to do the same for Geia. They want to get this bloke in space. He can cover 100 metres faster than Gus can drive his car. He's old Datsun. Back in field and rushing up for a big hit was McGill. Getting away from it was Andrew Bell. Still the lone try scorer for his team. Now Beaumont put to ground there by half. Kongu, infield they come with Fagutu. Good metres, gets it to the 40. Held up there by Thompson. Low down on the tackle was Francis. Kirwin, Kongu. Infield it comes for Skipper. And Skipper has tackled 32 metres from the line, the last. They'd love a result here from a kick. Payne with it. Tries a short one. It's going to bounce up nicely for Parada. And held in the tackle of Heading.
And again, the young 5'8" for Kirwin, Kongu. He's been in the dummy half most of the time. Just like to see him get out on the edges a little bit, use his skill out there, because though he wants his hands on the ball. He's much more dangerous on the edges. As a result, Kirwin have got no ball movement in their game. They're virtually relying on the chip kick at the end of the set of 6. Keebra Park, on the other hand, they space out nicely. They keep their width. If the ball's promoted, they're able to get it wide pretty quickly.
Now Francis is going to kick from that short side on halfway. He's worried about it. Francis, it's out on the full. The moment it came off the boot, he held his breath.
The kicker always knows. As soon as you kick it, you know it's just not going to hit the mark. That one came off the outside edge of the boot. The idea was right. He's had some good kicks down into the corner to put pressure on the opposition. But an important moment in this game has just arrived. They need a try here, Kirwin. Set of 6 begins on halfway with a scrum win. They need something now.
Leo Fagutu standing out of this scrum. It's going to come his way right now. Fagutu with it. He's got a right foot step. Runs there at McDonald. Thrown to ground in the tackle. Also there was Wihongi Sia. They've put it down this time for Bell. They just can't build up the pressure. Keebra Park back in possession. Not quite playing like winners, but they have got a 10-point lead. Here's Campbell. Good run and held that time by Andrew Bell. 41 from the line. Keebra back to centre field. McDonald throws deep with Poland. Running straight was Teo. Causing some damage. 35 from the line. Was well held in the tackle of Casey Lillyman. Good run now by Parada. Got themselves in the zone. They're 20 away from the Kirwin line. Francis to the left. McDonald then keeps it alive inside for Campbell. Campbell 11 metres out in front of the post. Francis right side. McDonald. He looked over his left shoulder. Found Parada on the right, and he's manhandled in the tackle of Tamaho Skipper. Last tackle, Poland threads the kick through on the fingertips. They've got it, Kirwin, and Edric Holmes has taken the ground in a line dropout.
Nice work here by the halfback, Jimmy Poland. You see the strapping around his head. He was hurt in the first tackle of the game and had to go off to the sideline. He's come back. I don't think he's 100%. I've been watching him. He's doing a good job for his team. Got them a nice restart there with a good kick and chase. Here comes Keebra Park again.
And bring it back. Beckham and Ratzlaff. He went charging up to Kongu. 25 metres away from the line. Now Matanga. He's light on his feet. And he's up again, the little rubber man. Taking the ground there by Fagutu. 11 out from the line. with Campbell. 5 out from the Kirwin line. They work to the left. McDonald holds it up there for Half. This is good defence. They're going to hold him up in goal, although he's forced it. Half has managed to get the ball down. It's the 3rd try of the day for Keebra. It appeared as if they'd done enough, but all strength from Damon Half. He wasn't going to give in, and he's got his team's 3rd try.
Yeah, Damon Half, a good, hard, straight run here off the 5'8" Dame McDonald. See number 8 there, Retzlau's run a good decoy. McDonald will hold it up, and Half running straight at the little fellas on the edges of the ruck. That man in the blue headgear we've just said is only 16 years of age. I thought he'd held him up for quite a while. I don't know how long you've got to hold them up there. They've got hold of the ball, but all of a sudden the hand comes out, puts it down on the turf, and good reward there for a good, strong, hard run.
With Matthew Parata, 3 from 3 in the Queensland final. This is for the biggest lead of the match. Parata is successful again. It is now a 16-point margin. 20 points to 4. It's gold at the moment for Keebra Park. Kirwin all the way from Townsville, now under extreme pressure. Fagutu with a kick-off, fielded there by Poland. And taken front on by Lillyman. And driven back with Payne, he's lost the ball. That is exactly what Kirwin wanted. Effort, enthusiasm, dogged determination, tackle. Payne and Casey Lillyman, and they forced the mistake. Poor old Jimmy Poland, the battered warrior.
He'll sleep tonight. Brady Payne, the captain and halfback for Kirwin. He's the brother of Aaron Payne, who plays for the Cowboys. The hooker.
Now the push this time from Keebra Park. It's anyone's.
I love that. The good old-fashioned push from the scrum, Bossy. You don't see a lot of it anymore. It's always revived in schoolboy football.
Come together.
Like big Charles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold steady. Okay, ball in.
Scrum 10 out. Untidy. He'd ended up on their knees, and a terrible pass has come loose. Well handled, though, by Andrew Bell. This is a big chance for Kirwin to stay in the match. Fagutu straightens up. Very ungainly stride there. 15 out from the line. Kongu for Payne, and then stepping back in field straight into trouble. Perfect low tackle there. Now with the fullback heading. He's taken front on. Great defence there by Brad DePaul for Keebra Park. Kongu to the right side. McKinnon keeping it alive for Bell. He props and stops and is able to pass back for Beaumont. 15 from the line. Kongu from dummy half. Last tackle. Chance to get over. Loses the ball as he was passing. Players offside for Keebra. They will get another set of 6.
That was unlucky. He's very dangerous out of dummy half, this boy. He's created a few half chances. That was a really good opportunity. Full set of 6 to work with now, though.
Kongu, Payne, and across with Skipper. Brushes away from one. That was Teo. And then held in the tackle of Poland. With Payne, up to the left they come. This is Joel Lillyman. He stretches out, he scores. Joel Lillyman, who was hammered in a tackle not long after half-time. He's on the highlights tape for the right reasons this time with a 4-pointer.
Good work here by Kirwin, refusing to give up. They're behind on the scoreboard, but they've got themselves back in the game. Down the short side went Kongu there. Had an opportunity to pass, could have been a try, but they were offside, and then 2 tackles later. And Lillyman here, just hard and straight, off the left foot, burst back through on the inside, and a good reach out, gets the ball over the line. This is a good comeback after being belted the last time he took the ball. He got away from Toby there, and Lillyman scores.
Over to Leo Fagutu with the conversion attempt, 15 out. And this time he's on target. The game is still alive. At 20 points to 10, George Bartlett, Kirwin coach, watches on. 12-point ball game. Matthew Parata for Keebra Park. They're not home yet. Kirwin buoyed by that try. It was a terrific comeback. Forcing an error from the kickoff and then scoring not long after. Now Kongu away for Skipper. Skipper, another strong run, able to offload, this time with Payne through the centre. The Arrival Live website will have the full story of this match. Plenty of competitions they've got running as well in the run home to the Cup final, www.arrivallive.com.au. Now thanks to the MAA and Arrival Live for their support of Junior Rugby League. It's been a good year so far for the junior footy. Played there by Lillyman, back for Payne over his shoulder, that'll be play on. Links up with Kongu, good recovery. Kongu now straightens up. With the clutches there of DePaul and Campbell. Last tackle, Kirwin. Chance to run on the left side, pass appeared to be forward. Out for Lillyman, kicks back infield, play on. Off the fullback, Parada. And he's got a knock on against Kirwin.
Just come off him. Just last.
Yeah, Payne there. That ball only went a couple of metres forward, but the referee or linesman picked it up. A kick back in field by Lillyman, who looks to be a player of great skill. Knocked on finally by Kirwin, Keebra Park's ball.
Poland with the ball for Keebra Park. And back with Parada. Ball up. It's only 3 tries to 2, but it is 20 points to 10 on the scoreboard. Fagudu went for attack on Wihongi Sia. Wihongi Sia just bounced away. Made another 5 metres. Stung by the challenge, but made good ground for his team. Now Retzlaff. Outside the 30, Keebra Park's end of the field. Little wrestle there, over the top with Williamson. Coming out of trouble with McDonald. Just a straight run from the 5'8", taken low by Lee McLean. Wihongi Sia still out the back for Keebra Park. Teo makes more ground. That's Wihongi Sia, that's way back inside the 30. Now, last tackle. Kick from Parada. Straight to Obadiha Geia. And Obadiha Geia well tackled by Damon Half. Geia, the number 2 for Kirwin, he's on scholarship with the Cowboys. Hails from Palm Island. And now heading back in. They come with Skipper. Driven in the tackle. Good defence, Keebra. 5 inside the Kirwin half. Clock now working against them as they try and bridge this gap. With it is Payne, the captain. He's able to run up to the line. He's held there by DePaul. An assist from Poland. 39 metres from the Keebra Park line. Kirwin in possession. Kongu utilises a little grubber. Alfie Langer style. Then gets a second kick in. And fielded by Parada.
It's good work by Parada. Securing possession there will clinch the win for his team. 20 points to 10 at this stage. Only a couple of minutes left on the clock. Tricky little fella, this fella. The kick in behind, pick it up. The second kick's always dangerous. Couldn't quite get enough meat on it. Keebra Park in winning today will go on to play Farah. Bossy, is that right?
That is correct. In the final 4.
They were very good winners over Holy Cross Ride. They played them up in Tamworth. 2,500 people turned out for the game. Looked a good side, Farah, when we saw them earlier this year, but this Keebra Park team has plenty of skill themselves. That'll be a great semi-final in the Arrival Live Cup.
Back for Parada to kick. He's been a very steady influence on this game from the back. It goes deep. Calvin Wyer's going back for it. He's with it now. Calvin Wyer gets back to the field of play. Now hammered and pushed and heave-ho. Back to the in-goal. 4 defenders in there. Poor old Calvin Wyer into a firestorm.
And Big Ben Teo's had a good game today in both attack and defence. Some good hits, some good chases and some terrific runs. This is enthusiasm at the back end of the game. 4 players in there to drive him back into the in-goal. And they could get what is the last possession of the contest. Good side, this Keebra Park, looking down through it. Players with skill, size, plenty of speed. And everyone I look at is on scholarship with the West Tigers.
Campbell brings it back. And what they've got, they've got some impact off the bench. Campbell has had a really good game for them. So too McGill. DePaul has been good in defence. Here's Parada, good goal kicker as well into the bucket. He's landed 4 from 4. And now Francis, he loses the ball out the back. And that will be a knock on against Keebra Park. And that is all in the Queensland final. Keebra Park are the champions. They are through to the semi-finals of the Arrive Alive Cup. The last time they did that was 1994. They have beaten Kirwin State High in the Queensland final by 20 points to 10. And the Arrive Alive man of the match today is Ben Teo, second rower. He pulled off some big hits, some strong charges. Young West Tiger on scholarship with the club going places in 2005. And now the presentation of the trophy from former Bronco Andrew G. There are the Queensland champions for 2005, Keebra Park State High. They're on their way to the semis. We're at Parramatta Stadium for next week's match, the first of the semi-finals. Until then, enjoy your footy.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.